The Pale Ape by M.P.Shiel and read by Chris Halton. A big thing of a pig. Aristophanes. Yesterday again I stood and looked at Hagen Hall from the lake, and it is this that has brought me to write of my life in it. Wintry winds were whistling through the withered bracken and the branches, whirling withered birch leaves about the south quadrangle, and no birds sang. When I first entered it, I was a girl, gay enough, but now I have known what one never forgets, and the days and the hairs grow grey together. I arrived on the evening of the 10th of November, and shall never forget the strangeness of the impression made upon me that night. Even before I saw the house, the waters roared far off, cascades crashing down the cliffs that surrounded it, and already I felt the eerily dreary. It was 4 days before I met Sir Philip Lister. Davenport, the old butler, told me he was indisposed, but a polite note came bidding me take things carelessly. So I wandered through the silent halls, from Queen Elizabeth's room with its faded velvet shield, to the apes and the cascades. The apes, there were 3 of them, 2 chimpanzees, 1 gibbon, and a 4th cage, empty. Esme, my pupil, whispered, "The one that used to be here was huge and had a pale face. He died before I came, but his ghost walks when the moon is full." "The ghost of an ape, Esme," I muttered. Gravely she replied, "But if I have seen it." Then, suddenly bright, she seized my hand. "Come, you shall hear it." She dragged me behind a waterfall, spray thundering down. We crouched in the dripping grot. "Now listen," she shouted. "This one is named the Ape." At first only the cataract's roar, but then a chuckle, sharp, pressing, mocking. It came again and again, 5 times in half an hour. "If you kept on listening," Esme cried, "do you know what would happen? You would go mad." That night the full moon shone into my lonely room. I woke, trembling, heart-pounding, cold sweat on my brow, and then a chuckle. The branches of the cedar thrashed. Something moved outside my window. I rushed to see, and I saw it, a brute, an ape with a pale face, hanging head down among the chains and branches, watching me. I fainted, and in that faint I heard chucklings, a voice pleading, commanding, and then a strangled cry of horror, an outcry of agony, and the eternal chuckle of the stream. The next day Davenport was gone, and when he returned his throat was bruised, as if by a strangler's hands. From then gloom fell upon Hagen. Esme no longer laughed, and we all lived with the weight of a secret, none daring to speak. Then came Huggins Lister, young, reckless, ardent. He swept me away in his storm. We were married in secret, and even that day I saw Sir Philip in the town, his face ashen, aghast. That night, my bridal night, I barred my door with a chair, but at midnight, a roar, not human, the cry of a soul in extremis calling to God. I sprang from bed in the corridor, a candle in hand, and then a chuckle. Low, jackal-like, the match went out, and something cold touched my skin. I ran. The door at the corridor's end was locked. I beat upon it, screaming, "Huggins, Sir Philip, Davenport, Huggins!" But no reply. And then a sound. Bump, bump, bump. Something massive dragged down the stairs. I dared the ledge outside, 50 feet above the ground, and by miracle reached another window. Downstairs, by matchlight, I saw Davenport, dead, and beyond, in the park, the Pale Ape. He bore a body in his arms, laid it down, muttered over it. I seized a stone and flung it. It struck his head. He reeled and fled. I staggered to the body. It was Huggins, my beloved, strangled, dead. I fell upon his breast, senseless. When I awoke, Esme was insane. Sir Philip vanished. They found him at last, dying, in the hollow behind the cascade they call the Ape. I was brought to him, his dying eyes fixed on me. His body was furred, greenish hair thick round his throat and wrists. He gasped, "I have loved you well." and when he pointed with his last strength to the stone wound in his skull. I lifted my voice and wept to God because of him, and myself, and Hagen Hall. And so he died, and Huggins died, and I was left alive. The end.